The holiday season calls for plenty of food, shopping, family get-togethers, and dangerous winter storms.
And you'll want to make sure your car's tires are just as prepared for winter as you are. So wherever you're headed, you can get there safely. And for some tips on prepping your car for winter, we're joined by Matt, who is a certified service technician at Bowman Chevy. Thanks a lot for coming in today.
Thanks for having me today.
All right, so first off, let's start off with the age-old question. All seasons, winter tires. Are winter tires necessary in our climate?
So it depends when you say winter tires and all-season tires. So all-season tires are kind of an all-season general tire. A snow tire is going to be for those conditions that we have a lot of snow, deeper snow, and they have a different type of tread on them. As you can see, there's a lot more cuts in a tire that allow them to grip the road more. An all-season tire is a harder compound tire, where a snow tire is a softer compound tire. So they allow to grip more, they have bigger channels in them to clean the snow out of it and to get you more traction on the road.
Yeah, that has way more traction and tread than the tires on my car right now, I can tell you that.
So you're going to get some new tires.
Exactly.
And there's also like a penny test you can do, right?
There is, and there's a lot of regulations state to state and everything else, but 230 seconds is the minimal tread depth that's allowable.
Okay.
And it's just not only that for your safety, but for other people's safety on the road because of sliding, slipping around in conditions.
So then how can you check that? Because you
so
have to like
you can take a penny, and you can put a penny down in a tread and the top of the president's head. If you can see the top of his head, you know your tires are bad. And then the other thing is tires will have a repeating wear bar that goes through them somewhere on it. So the manufacturers also build in a wear bar in the tire to let you know that when it's that low, that it's time for replacement as well.
Oh, that's handy.
And it's between the treads right in there, you know, that you can see it. So that also is like a 2/32 or 3/32.
Okay, so one of the proactive things then is you can do the penny test. What are some other proactive things people can do before a winter sets in to help stay on the road?
Right. So we'll talk about like all-season tires versus snow tires real quick.
Okay.
But things to be safe with a winter tire is you got to really think about, like, you have the proper shoes for different times of year. So we go to the beach, we want to wear flip-flops,
yeah,
right?
Sure
to
do.
keep the sand out of our shoes. Then you have a tennis shoe, which is like your all-around kind of shoe that you're going to wear pretty much generally everywhere. But then in the wintertime when we got deeper snow, we wear boots. So we got to kind of think about that, where your all-season tire is going to be your tennis shoe. And then your snow tire is going to be your boots in the wintertime. So, and they do help a lot in the winter too. I can contest to that.
I like that simple comparison. It kind of puts it in, perspective.
Yeah, depending on what shoe you're wearing, that's what your car kind of needs too.
Exactly.
Like your car shoes. Now, you do happen to have roadside assistance programs, right? Just in case something does happen. Do you want to explain more about that?
Yeah, there's, you can contact your insurance companies. I know AAA still offers a lot of that stuff too. Almost all your insurance companies, providers have the information for you. For roadside assistance care, and it's good. I mean, you're probably going to have your insurance, your registration in your glove box anyways. So you might as well have your insurance information where you have your 1-800 numbers, your road care numbers handy. So if you do come into an issue or something, you have that handy that you can call for that kind of assistance on the road if you run into those problems.
So you're the expert. Is there anything like you think is the number one thing to do for people to keep the rubber on the road in the winter?
I think the most important thing is that tread depth. It's no different than wearing dress shoes in the snow. We slip around, we slide around, and it is the biggest, most important thing is that you have a thicker tire with a lot of tread depth on it, and a decent pattern tire too.
Is there anything you have to do when you take your car into the shop? Like, do you have to say, can you look at my tires, or is it a standard thing for people to do in the shop?
Well, anytime that you ever go to any shop, any repair facility that we work at, you can even ask them, hey, the winter's coming up, can you look over my car real good? Generally, while it's in there, almost any places nowadays have a free inspection. And it's no big deal for us to do a free inspection, check everything out, and then just tell you if there's any safety issues with your vehicles, if there's any potential issues coming up. And we always, the worst thing is ever going in some place and they say, oh, it's going to be $4,000 or $5,000.
Yeah.
But if you go somewhere and they say, well, in the near future, you might need to do that. It's that prep work. And if you know about it, you can plan for it. And I think that's one of the biggest things with that.
And people will then eventually take off the winter tires and put the summer tires back on, right? So you kind of get, a little bit of half and half with it.
You
kind of get two uses out of
because
it.
if you actually do have two sets of tires for your vehicles, they last twice as long.
Yeah.
Because we use these for 4 or 5 months in the wintertime. And then you rotate them back out. You typically get anywhere from 3 to 5 years on a set of tires before you have to buy them. But if you have 2 sets of it, you're doubling that lifetime. You're looking at
Right.
8 or maybe 10 years when you actually have that. And then you have the proper tires for the wintertime, and you have the proper tires for the summertime and the other seasons.
All right, so when I get my winter tires, can I store my summer ones at your house?
That's a big negative.
All right. I live in a
That's in
small
the storage
place.
space.
All right, Matt, thanks a lot for these tips. Really
Yep.
Thank
appreciate
you.
it.
Not a problem. Thank you.